Okay, so we're now recording and now I'm going to play the presentation. Okay. All right, so thank you guys, everybody, for tuning in to our presentation today. We're going to be speaking about social media for the design industry and especially navigating the new normal. So our company, Meta Media, we're a social media agency. We're based in Cambridge. We've been giving a lot of webinars throughout COVID-19. Basically, we work with a wide range of businesses. We do work with a lot of design, build, architect, and we do work in the design industry. But from our perspective, we work with more than 40 different clients managing their social media. So as the whole COVID-19 situation has evolved, we've been able to see, we've had to adjust the social media strategy and basically pivot, not pause all the social media strategies based on the environment and what's happening with Corona. So, you know, when it first happened, of course, it was very abrupt. So we had to shift all of our clients' social media strategies. But now, as you all know, everyone's kind of shifting to reopening and, you know, this new normal of like this world that we're living in. So our presentation today is focusing more on like how you can adjust your businesses and your social media presence to this new normal. So a lot of this like involves, you know, like making people feel safe, you know, like people are going to start coming out of their houses and it's like, how do you use your social media to make them feel comfortable, you know, hiring you, working with you, coming into your business, things like that. We also have a ton of really cool inspo because like I said, we do this for a lot of, you know, 3 or 4 clients in this industry. So we definitely want to give a bunch of ideas for you guys to take and use for yourself too. So we're really excited to be here. Really excited to work with Boston Design Center. Yeah, so we can just dive right in. Oops, I guess I have to click. Okay. So this is who's on the call right now. So I wanted to give a quick intro. So I'm Lauren Metter. I'm the founder and president of Meta Media. And then also going to be giving the webinar is Jackie Martinez, who's our corporate division director. There's Jackie. And Jackie manages our kind of like luxury home design division. And then Kate Berry, who's also online, she's a senior account manager at Meta Media. She's been with us for a while, one of our best account managers. And she works directly with these types of clients. So she has like really good insight into, you know, what she's been posting for her clients at this time. So that's us. And then, like we mentioned, Meta Media has a team of 15, and we work with more than 50 different clients locally and nationally. So here are just a you know, a smattering of our types of clients so you can get an idea. But you can see the most relevant tile showcase opening up a showroom in the Boston Design Center coming soon. So that's really exciting. Designer Bath is also one of our, you know, with Designer Bath, we work with a lot of interior designers. We work with a lot of builders and architects that use their products. So we're familiar with the space there. Oak Hill Architects is another one of our clients. And all 3 of these clients, Kate personally manages their social media. So she has a lot of insight of, you know, their strategy. But then in addition to that, Meta Media works with all types of clients. You can see them across the right. We don't need to get too deep into it, but we do work with, you know, Microsoft. We work with a lot of luxury residences, which is also kind of like interior design focused at times. You know, we also work with a lot of mixed use developments, and then law firms, biotech companies, insurance companies, like all sorts of things. So like I said before, with the COVID-19 situation, it's honestly been wild because social media is one of the only ways you can communicate right now from your business. And we have had to adjust all of our social media strategies like very quickly to this like constantly evolving situation. So we're going to talk a lot about that today. And then I just wanted to throw this in here. You don't have to look at them now, but if you wanted to get an idea of Meta Media's work and what it actually looks like, we're going to be sending this presentation out afterwards. And these are the Instagram feeds that Kate runs for our 3 most relevant clients right now to this industry. So if you want to check them out, you can. And then this is kind of an example of some of our clients that I just wanted to quick show you guys to put it into perspective. We are constantly featuring, like I said, like interior designers, doing spotlights of like their showroom favorites and things like that. We love like giving interior designer tips for, you know, how to set up your bathroom or your kitchen. And we love partnering with interior designers because they often have like really big Instagram followings. So from our clients, you know, that partnership is valuable, I think, on both ends. So this is just some examples of the spotlights we've done. And then that's it. Now we can dive right in.
Awesome. Yeah. So social media, of course, is at an all-time high right now. Everyone is on their phones right now. Social media, which is free to post on, can be a really strong marketing tool and resource during this time. And a quick stat here, Facebook and Instagram have seen a 40% increase in usage during this time, with views for Instagram Live and Facebook Live doubling in just 1 week. So that is an amazing stat. Your followers are online more than ever right now. And most importantly, too, social media is really bringing people together right now when they can't physically be together in person. And especially for businesses, you really can't afford to stop marketing or selling, and that includes posting on social media. The worst thing you could do for your business right now is to just go dead or silent online. And now more than ever, it's really vital to connect with current and potential clients to share important business updates, any messages of positivity, supporting local businesses, and health and wellness tips too. Staying connected is now more important than ever, with people and businesses relying on social media to stay in touch with friends, consume the news, and be entertained. And it's especially true because people really need positive content at this time. Across all social media, positive conversation volume has increased by 1,001% when compared to February. That's an amazing stat. And with that, engagements per message grew by 7%. And that indicates that people are more involved and active in the conversation on social media. And now more than ever is the time for all of us to be proactive about creating and sharing those moments of happiness. And it will give your followers a much needed break from the news and everything that's going on right now.
So moving to the agenda, here's what we'll cover today. First, we'll discuss how to best communicate and promote your reopening plan to gain the most business, focusing on making your customers feel safe. How to use social media to produce and host virtual events and live programming. Then we'll review how to use paid social media to encourage sales and appointments. And lastly, we'll end our webinar with what types of posts will garner the most engagement and awareness. We'll be sharing the latest trends, inspo for content, and more. And of course, if anyone has any questions, feel free to submit your questions at any time. So first step, connecting with your clients on social media. So as the pandemic continues to evolve, a lot of people right now are scared, nervous, and hesitant to be out in public. And with social media, you really have the opportunity to create your own campaign where people can feel comfortable and safe with your business. And of course, the news feels like it's changing every day, and a lot of people are turning to social media for live updates. And they're more likely to visit a business's social media channel over a website. At Meta Media, we really like to consider social media as the new Google. That's where everyone's going for their information. And because of this, your reopening plan should be highlighted on all of your social channels. Some recommendations to have these messages really be clear to your audience is to pin the latest update to the top of your Facebook and LinkedIn page, update your cover photos, and create an Instagram highlight outlining your new plan. And when you're crafting these posts, some questions to address are, do people need an appointment? Will everyone be required to wear a mask? Do you have designated waiting spots 6 feet apart? Are you offering virtual appointments and curbside pickup? And of course, like I said, this really should be a campaign to let your customers know you're safe and they're comfortable with your business. So it's important to not just post the update once, but to really add this into your regular content plan so it can be top of mind for your customers. So on this page here, we have an example of a Facebook cover. So when someone goes directly to this Facebook page, they see right away, you're safe with us. And we create a campaign, hashtag safe with us for Style Showcase. So we sprinkled in content throughout their plan, kind of reviewing all of their guidelines. So below that, you'll see another post that we had with this campaign, showroom safety guidelines. It's on a beautiful tile, a sticky note with a checklist, reviewing 6 feet social distancing, face coverings or masks are required, and limited to 3 appointments at a time. So you really want to make these messages clear and concise so that people can see what they can expect when they go to your business. Also at this time, it's important if your showrooms are not open for walk-ins to let people know how they can contact you. So we created this really visual slider for Designer Bath. When you slide through it, it's call us, email us, live chat us. So really just letting people know how people can get in touch with you at this time. We also have some inspo to help create these posts and campaign for you. I love this example from Hootsuite. They created an Instagram highlight called Get Connected, or I'm sorry, Staying Connected. And it's a message from us at Hootsuite with a personal note. And then if you click through the story, it reviews all of the ways that Hootsuite is adjusting their business plan at the time. So definitely recommend creating an Instagram highlight. So if someone goes to your Instagram page, they can see your new business plan right away. And of course, these can all be branded and customized to your look and feel. Next up, I love this example from the Skim. It is really creative of showing old office life versus new office life using emojis. So of course, this could maybe be adapted to phase 1, phase 3, pre-COVID, post-COVID. Really take your spin on it, make it your own. Last example is from Aerie. It's just a clean slider graphic branded to them about what they're doing to keep their customers safe.
Yeah, I love this Hootsuite Instagram story idea because I feel like the Instagram highlights at the top of your feed, it's almost like a website, you know, like when people go to your Instagram, it's like you can make those highlights informative. And I like having like this highlight here, and even turning that third example of how you're, you know, taking safety precautions, that could be like another highlight as well. So these are great inspo.
Love these. So along with sharing like the facts, it's important to balance these out with personal, authentic messages, and these can come directly from the owners. Right now, people really want to see authenticity on social media. They want to hear from business owners about how they're faring during this time. They want shared experiences and honest stories told through videos and captions. So here on the side, we have 2 examples. One is from Fred and Joe from Tile Showcase. It's their photo with a really nice quote. And below that, we have a video message from Designer Bath's president. Of course, using videos gives a more personal connection to your followers. It just makes the message more authentic and a little bit more heartfelt. And I know videos can sound a little scary, but there's no need to have a full production company to create this video. You can simply do it on your iPhone in a selfie style, or you can even record yourself on your laptop. But we definitely recommend having that personal connection and really building the connection with your followers through video.
Yeah, sometimes we actually find a lot of times that the more authentic, like lo-fi videos are, you know, they perform better than like these super high quality ones because they're more real. And like Jackie was saying, people want that real connection.
And just for some tips for the language to use within these posts, it's super important right now to be empathetic. Here are some examples that we have included for you to consider when you're crafting your posts. We get it. We know you and your business are going through a lot right now. We're here for you. The safety of our staff and clients is our top priority. We're still providing the same level of customer service. This is going to pass and things will be different, but we'll get through it together. Let's all be thankful for the little things. So it's really important that, you know, during a crisis, a lot of times people come together, and it's important for you to also build that connection with your clients and being empathetic at this time.
And to just understand that your clients are human. So everyone's dealing with this in different ways. Like, and some days are better than others. Like some days, you know, you're like really happy, and some days you're just exhausted and not productive and stuff. And these little messages of like empathy, they really go a long way from your business to connect with those people. So I love this. Okay. So the next part is how social media is bringing us together virtually. So during unprecedented times, we've seen social media actually like create amazing connections and bring people together in ways that we've never would have thought possible. it's actually, I think for me, one of the most positive things that I've seen come out of the coronavirus. And people are using social media in new ways, you know, to come together, to stay connected and share helpful advice. You know, you've seen this too. It's like, even when you're talking to family members more, you're talking to friends that you haven't talked to in a really long time. People are like Zooming and FaceTiming all the time. It's really kind of special what social media has done, bringing people together during coronavirus. And, you know, you can be a part of that from your business. So actually within 1 week of the start of the pandemic, Instagram Live and Facebook Live usage doubled. You've probably seen it at the top of your Instagram feed. Like, it used to be, you would look at your Instagram and like one person was going live, but now when you look, it's like 20 people are going live, you know, because this is a big thing. This is something that, you know, you guys should be doing. You should be jumping on this. The other thing that's really good about it is going live on Instagram and Facebook is really simple. And what happens is, like, when you go live on Facebook or Instagram, all of your followers get notified that say that your business has gone live. So that you actually tend to get like way more people tuning into something like this than if you had a pre-recorded video. And then the other thing is, live videos on Facebook and Instagram can be viewed by anyone. So it's a great way to reach new audiences and to expand your reach. So hosting your events virtually, this is something that we've done a lot at Metter Media at this time. And it's definitely been very successful for us. So we would recommend you guys thinking of, you know, maybe you could curate a panel to discuss an industry topic. You know, you can have a chat moderator during your live broadcast. They can kind of like, you know, push forward these conversations and interactions and stuff like that. And I did want to mention, so we actually did this. We worked with Designer Bath and a couple other people in the industry, Tile by Design, Kumar, Marble and Granite, and Landry and Arcari. So we got a bunch of like our fellow brands together, which was cool because then we could all promote it together on social media. And then we worked with North Shore Magazine. And I just think this concept is so cool because I feel like in the design industry, like, you know, you probably have done print ads in whether it's like North Shore Mag or, you know, Boston Home or things like that. And the print ads are amazing. Like they're really cool. But imagine if you took like Boston Home Magazine or North Shore Mag and you almost treated them as like an influencer. For example, North Shore Mag has 17,000 followers on Facebook. So instead of hosting this like live panel from like Designer Bath, which is our client, we were like, hey, can we host it from, you know, North Shore Mag's Facebook, where 17,000 people in and around the local area will get notified when we like launch this live panel on Facebook. So we got a ton of people to tune in, a ton of like new people in the local area because we kind of use them as an influencer. And then it was really cool. We had each panelist like, well, we recommended this, but you can see with the Kumar and with Designer Bath, they had virtual backgrounds that had to do with like their business, which I thought was really cool. So like you can see like she used like a really cool marble, like really cool stone. And then we had the Designer Bath like virtual showroom with that stone forest tub, which was really cool as the background. And this panel was just like awesome. I think we did it through Zoom and then we broadcasted it live on Facebook. And it was just a great conversation, lots of engagement from like potential new customers for them. And then the last thing I'll say about this, you can see it underneath the picture where the MM Pro tip, where it says, take advantage of the technology and invite a notable guest that may not have been able to participate if it was an in-person event. And I don't want to gloss over this because I think this is actually extremely important. I think this is another really good thing that's come out of Corona times is, you know, like if you were doing a physical event at, you know, Boston Design Center, it's logistically like you have to organize a lot of things. You have to like pay for a lot of things. Panelists have to sometimes fly in from like New York City or California to like be on the panel that you have to like orchestrate this whole thing. But now that everything's virtual, the possibilities are essentially limitless. Like when it comes to like getting these like influencers speaking on your panel. So you could literally get like any interior designer or any influencer from like across the country or even across the world to be a part of your panel. So it's really opened up the possibilities, and I think that's pretty cool. The second idea here is having employees do live takeovers on Instagram. You can show how they're adjusting to the new normal. You know, you could show your consultants doing like at-home DIY projects, because a lot of people are working on their homes right now during the quarantine. Or you could have like someone do a live takeover discussing the reopening plan for your business, and they could kind of have a mask on, and they could be like, hey, here's all the safety precautions that we're taking. Like, you know, we want to make sure you feel safe when you come in here as we reopen. And it's kind of like what Jackie was saying with that personal, authentic message from the president. This is like a day in the life type of like selfies, sort of like, it's again, it's like very authentic. It's like, this is how our team is adjusting to the new normal. You know, we're right there with you. So it gives people that personal connection to your business. The other thing you can do when you do these panels is kind of like we're doing this webinar, is you can answer questions on air as they come live from the audience. And you can encourage your team to engage with viewers via the live comments. So what we did for this designer bath panel is like, you know, Kate was kind of like hosting it and facilitating it on the Zoom. And then Jackie was there like moderating the comments, like fielding questions from North Shore Mag. So, or you could do it from Designer Bath as well. So like whenever someone had a question, we were like, you just want to get that interaction, because the more people that are commenting live, the more viral the panel is going to go. And then the other thing you can do is you can consider using live polling. So live polls allow publishers to ask their audience multiple choice questions during live broadcasts, and then viewers can select their response directly on the video. I've actually never done this. Have you done this, Jackie? Or have you seen this?
Yeah, I've seen this. It's really cool. So it's kind of like that Instagram when you have the poll sticker. You can put a poll right on your Facebook Live and people can vote on it.
Ooh.
So it just adds like that extra element of interaction, which is really cool.
That's really cool. People love voting on things. Nice. Okay.
Great. So yeah, getting your content in front of your audience and reaching new clients. So why use social media advertising? There are many reasons. So the first is detailed targeting. It's really amazing how specific you can target people on Facebook. Paid social media lets you control who sees your content. Targeting capabilities are truly incredible. So demographics, location, age, interests, it's really amazing how specific you can get with your audience. And with this too is cost. It's really cost effective compared to traditional advertising, you know, like print media. Social media is a really cost effective way to market your business, and you really can't beat it. The average cost per click for Facebook ads across all industries is just $1.72. So really cheap, really cost effective, definitely worth it. And lastly, objectives. Facebook and Instagram also have the ability to optimize your social media content based on your objectives. So whatever your goals are for your business, whether it's increasing sales, driving traffic to a web page, or generating more engagement, Facebook's system will provide you with the best tools to reach whatever your business's goals are. And what makes a good ad? So pretty much what is going to make people stop scrolling and take an action on your ad. So first is a high quality, relevant, and eye-catching image or video. So your creative should be thumb-stopping good. You want to make sure people, when they're scrolling on their feeds, that they actually stop and look at your ad. So the visual you select is going to be the primary reason why someone actually stops and then continues to read. So next, when they get to that point where they are reading, you want to have a short description of the offer or value proposition. You don't want to leave your target audience confused, and you don't want to expect them to want to read about your offer. You definitely want to be very straight to the point. And this goes hand in hand too with the call to action. You want to have one, you don't want to have multiple. Don't try to do too much in one ad. Don't expect too much out of your audience. Try to get to the point and have a really specific one call to action.
So moving to what types of posts will garner the most engagement and awareness. Especially if you have a team that services clients on a normal basis, use this opportunity to feature them on your feeds. Trust us, people really love seeing faces on their social channels. So we have some examples here of how you can highlight your team at this time. The first one is from Everlane. I really love what they did here. They created a series called Slack a Stylist. And what they did is they encouraged people to submit their questions via Slack, and a stylist answer their questions, and they turned it into this really nice slider where if you slide through, it's the person's questions and then the stylist answering it. So this is a really cool way you can do this with your own spin on it by answering, maybe you want to answer DIY home projects, home renovations, how they can interact with your business at this time. So really get creative with this. I think it's a really great way to add a personality to your feed and just increase interactions. Next up, this is a really cool way to revamp your staff spotlights. So what this is, they created a series where they highlighted their team. And instead of just doing kind of basic general bios on them, what they did is they turned it into the current time. So people were answering what they've been doing during quarantine. And you can do this with any questions, really. What have you been doing with your family at this time? What's your favorite at-home recipe? What local businesses are you supporting? You can really make these personal and customized for really any series. Next up, I thought this was a really smart idea of just highlighting your team wearing masks in your showroom. It again goes with that message of creating an environment where customers feel safe and secure with your business. So definitely recommend, when possible, snapping a photo of a team member with a mask and adding it to your feed or your Instagram story. And I love all of these ideas. I definitely think you could have your own spin on them, really brand them, and have them feel like your brand.
Love these. Okay, so spotlighting projects and products. So this is, I think, a really important slide. So a lot of people, like when the Corona, first happened, everyone was like, should I even keep posting and like promoting myself right now? Or is that like being kind of like tone deaf to the situation? And the reality is you can still absolutely post about your projects and, the things you're working on and highlight your work. You just have to be sensitive to the current climate and use copy that's relatable. So it kind of like goes back a little bit, like you can use that empathetic language that Jackie was talking about in a couple posts. But we really like these examples. So for Tile Showcase, I liked what Kate did here with this caption where she said, spruce up your work from home space with some gorgeous tiles from, this brand. So it's kind of like, do you have any projects that feature like work from home spaces? Because that's like very relevant at this time and could like be good inspo for people who are just working from home every single day and on like 1,000 Zoom calls, like all of us. And the second example is from Kumar Marble and Granite. We really liked this one. They said, I could really use this setup right now. The color will brighten any gloomy quarantine day, and even more with a good glass of wine. I just like love how relatable this caption is. And like, I think Kate mentioned this too with the positivity angle. It's like, this is what people need right now. They need something to like brighten their day. So this was a really good, strong caption. And then you can also get really creative. So this is one really cool inspo idea that we used for Designer Bath. You've probably seen everyone's been doing like pick your quarantine house or like pick your quarantine room is kind of like a trending thing that's happening right now. So the design industry is perfect to do something like this. For Designer Bath, we said pick your favorite bathroom, and we kind of combined like 3 different, elements, and we had people like vote in the comments which bathroom they thought like, they wish was their own. But you could do this concept with like anything. Like you could take, 3 of your different projects, and you could be like, which style is your favorite? And just have like 1, 2, 3, 4. And these types of things, people love this. They love to vote. They love to get like engagement. It's kind of like the same thing as if in Instagram stories, you did kind of like a this or that series. It's like, which design style do you like better? And people like voted. But you can do this with all sorts of different concepts. So really fun.
Yeah, next is showing your community some love. So definitely a unique opportunity right now to help other people, lift other people up, and especially smaller local businesses too. I think I want to start with like this middle inspo post here. So how to love and support small businesses for free. So A lot of people right now, you know, are going through unemployment, may not have the funds to support their favorite businesses, you know, by spending money, buying things from them. I just love the way the Lauren Holleran team here tweaked this in a positive way, that you can support local businesses for free. These are all online on social media, so sharing a post, liking their post, tagging a friend in the comments, just commenting something nice, and shouting them out in your own post. I just love the positivity here, and it's really helping lift other people up in their businesses. And then another idea here too, on the left, the FedEx photo, really cute, really simple but powerful. So this is something that can be easily done. You can have a staff member, you know, hold up a thank you sign. You can have a staff member's kid hold up a thank you sign, just thanking those who are working, you know, on the front lines. Super positive and powerful message, but really, really simple and easy to do too. And then lastly, this post by Red, a similar type of thank you post. Again, it says clap for healthcare workers. So basically just giving a shout out to those who are working on the front lines during this time is a super positive message and helps lift other people up during this time.
All right, and our last slide for examples is to hop on social media trends and have some fun. It's really easy to tie them back into the design industry. Our first example is, I'm sure you've all seen this, it's a meme of different people with labels on it. You can definitely do this for your industry by having maybe the DIYer, the interior designer, the beginner, the advanced. You can even do it for design styles, contemporary, traditional. So just have some fun with it. Next up is from Designer Bath. Of course, now everyone is transitioned to Zoom. So why not use that as an opportunity? You can have your interior designers, your team change their backgrounds to the showroom, our favorite project, just to start increasing some conversations around that. You can also add it in and incorporate it on social media. What we did here, these are actually celebrity bathrooms. So what we did is we had this post and encouraged everyone to go to the Instagram story where they voted on, where they took a quiz and try to figure out which celebrity had that bathroom. So it was really fun.
That was really fun. I got it wrong every time. I did not know. It was lots of people voted on that though, right, Kate? It was really fun.
Yeah, it was super popular. And then kind of what Lauren was saying, the would you rather, people love voting and sharing their opinion on social media. So definitely try to work this into your plan when possible. This one is from Zillow. It's would you rather, and it was a video of 2 different locations. And this can be would you rather, and it could review different projects, different products. Really great to just spotlight two different things and have people share their opinions or vote on it. Just really helps increase that engagement.
Okay, and then this is the last one. So during this time, Mentor Media is giving free social media consultations. So if you have any specific further questions about social media, during this time or just in general for your business, we would love to chat. We love talking about social media all the time, even if you want to run some ideas by us or whatever. So you can always email us at info@mentormedia.com to set up the free consultation, and we can kind of take it from there. So that's our whole presentation. So thank you guys for tuning in. Now we wanted to see if anyone has any questions. So you can feel free to do those in the chat. Anyone? It's okay if we don't have any questions. What you can do is if you do have specific questions though, you can always email us afterwards, either at info@mentormedia.com, or my email is just lauren@mentormedia.com, and Jackie's is Jacqueline and Kate is Kate. So it's really easy. We're also gonna follow up after this and send out the presentation. So if you guys wanna reply to that email, if you wanna talk more about, our services or about social media, we'd love to hear from you.
We
So
do
we're getting
have
a
some
couple of
questions.
questions
Oh,
here.
great. On that note, let's pick them.
All right, so our first question, do you use other places to advertise, Pinterest or just Instagram and Facebook? Lauren, do you want to take this one?
Sure, I'll take this one. We actually, Mentor Media as an agency hasn't dabbled in Pinterest very much at all for our clients. So we do focus on Instagram and Facebook advertising, and we found it's very cost effective. And we have found that, Instagram, I think, is probably like the biggest channel right now for this industry, and the most important one that you can be on. The reason we didn't do Pinterest as much is because I think back when we started dabbling in it for some of the design clients, it recommended that you should post like 10 times a day or something like that. And for us, like as an agency, that just doesn't make sense, like time wise. But I think for like if you're the owner of the business and you curate the Pinterest yourself, then I think it makes more sense. So we actually don't have that much experience with Pinterest ads, unfortunately.
All right, our next question, how important is it that your feed look a certain way? White space, color, etc.
Do you want me to take this, or do you want to do it, Jackie?
Sure, I'll do it. I think it is super important. It just, when someone gets to your Instagram, they know your brand and your look and feel right away. So I do think it's important to have consistency. And that can either be picking a Lightroom filter, having colors that go together, and really designing and building your grid, especially for the design industry. I do think it's really important that they have a really consistent look and feel to it.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times what we do is we base it off of your website and kind of like your personal brand and your design ideas. Because if someone looks at your Instagram, you want to like convey your ideas about design within like 2 seconds of looking at it. So it's actually, like Jackie was saying, like it's extremely important, especially for designers.
And I always use Microsoft as an example too, because if you look at Microsoft's feed, you don't need to look at the name or anything else. You'll be able to tell which company it's for. So I think really the number one thing with it is just that brand recognition is just so important.
And there's a lot of apps right now that really help design your Instagram feed. I really enjoy Planoly is one that you can kind of go ahead and pre-plan all of your posts, which I think is really helpful. All right, our next question, Kate, do you want to take this one? How do you do a live Instagram video?
Oh, so simple, so easy. So you just log into your Instagram account, and as if you are going to post an Instagram story like normal, where I guess it won't show anything on my phone. And it says normal, as if you're just going to take a photo. If you just slide over, you can slide over to live. And just like that, it's that simple. You click live and then you are going live. You can have other people request to join in too. So you can add another person onto your Instagram live, but it's really, really simple. Just a click of a button, really.
Yeah, and it's really easy to invite a guest for your Instagram live. So say Kate was going live on her page, she would just send me a text that, hey, I'm live. I would go on Kate's Instagram live, and there's a little box that says request to join, and I would just click that, and then Kate would accept it, and then both of us would be able to have that live discussion together. All right, next question. How frequently should one post on Instagram?
This is a good question. So for our clients, you generally post 3 to 4 times a week on Instagram. But I think, there is such a thing as over posting. So I would definitely not post like 3 to 4 times a day on Instagram. Like, I think that's like too much. But if you have the ability to be posting like, so we do like 3 to 4 times a week, but if you want to do like 5 to 6 times a week, I think that's fine, as long as it's not like so many per day. Would you guys agree with that?
Definitely. I think like consistency is key. So I think if you want to just like stick with 3 posts a week or 5 posts a week, I think as long as it has some consistency to it, I think that's important.
Mm-hmm.
All right, our next question. Um, Kate, do you want to talk a little bit about how to build a following on Instagram?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot of factors that come into play for building an Instagram following. I think definitely consistency, like we said, is really key. If you go weeks without posting, you're going to notice a big difference in losing followers. And again, just engaging content. You want to have people want to engage with your content, whether it be liking, commenting, voting on those Instagram stories. Having that engaging content will have people, it'll show more in people's feeds too. And I think those are really big key factors in, maintaining and growing an Instagram following.
A couple other things I would add to that, influencers, like working with people that have gigantic Instagram followings. Like for example, like say we're Designer Bath and we get like an interior designer that has like, 20,000 followers to post about Designer Bath or reshare our stuff. You get a lot of followers from that. So the more influencers you work with, you could grow your following that way. And then the other thing you can do, and this takes a lot of time, it's basically manual Instagram follower building, which is basically like, say it's like your business, like Designer Bath, they would find like another business that's like similar to them, or they would find an interior designer and they would go to the people that are following that person. And then they would just like follow a bunch of people. And of course you have to check the profiles, make sure that they're real people. Ideally, you want them to be like local people that could be future customers. But just like logging into Instagram like 2 to 3 hours a week and doing that manual community work will get you, will increase your following.
And definitely too, I think it's so important to use geotags on your posts, because that really, if someone's looking for a certain location, your post will just be automatically added in there. And I think a lot of people sometimes forget too to use them on Instagram stories, and that really helps reach a lot of new people by just adding that into the story. All right, our next question. Do you think the Instagram algorithm takes into account the quality or appearance of the image itself?
That's an interesting question. I don't know. I feel like I think the Instagram algorithm is kind of controlled by like how much engagement it gets like right away, the post. So yes, like, I mean, we usually try to use like really high quality photos on Instagram, but at the same time, sometimes if it's like a really compelling image that's more authentic and it gets like a lot of engagement like right away, it'll do even better than some of the more high quality photos, So not necessarily, it's based off of like how much engagement you get right away. The other thing it's based off of, I think, is like how long someone like pauses on the Instagram post. So there's been studies that show that like every once in a while you should post something on Instagram that has like a longer caption that people kind of like look at and read through, or maybe it's like a slider that people like have to engage with to do like a before and after or something. Those sorts of actions where people are like lingering on your post will make it get shown to more people.
Yeah, I think engagement is definitely key for the algorithm of like where it pops up.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of goes with this question: is there a best time of day to post? So I think definitely each account is going to be different. So I would recommend looking into your analytics of your pages to see where your followers are in line, but definitely seeing what is the best time of day to post, because that will help you gain more engagement on that post, which will help you show up in more feeds.
Do you guys feel like for Instagram sometimes though, I feel like at the end of the day for some reason is like usually pretty successful, either that or like first thing in the morning?
That's what first thing in the morning, and then like late at night, like right after work.
When everyone
I feel like, yeah, you have to think about people's behaviors and maybe even think about your own, like when are you most on your phone too? And I mean, I think about like right before I'm in bed or as soon as I wake up, looking at my phone immediately. So like even like thinking about our own behaviors too.
Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on working with influencers and micro influencers?
Well, we definitely recommend doing it as much as possible. I mean, I feel like So you guys should talk about how we do, so this is like a little bit different now, but we do influencer visits at our showrooms where we invite the influencers in. Do you guys want to like talk about those?
Yeah. So we've had kind of a mix of larger scale influencers and lower scale, like micro influencers, come into the showroom. Both yield great results. What we do is give them a tour through the showroom. I take photos of them as well, so they can post photos of them in the showroom. And then they also take a few photos and videos from their point of view too. And then at the end of the day, they put it all together and put it on their Instagram story. And they tag, this is for Designer Bath, so they tag Designer Bath in every single photo and video on their story. And then we reshared it to Designer Bath's Instagram account. And we've had, influencers with 100,000 followers, and then we've had some, with less than 10,000. And then we both see, like with either, I've seen great results. I think too with the micro influencers, there's so many, local interior designers that have such loyal following on Instagram. It's really authentic, so you get a lot of engagement there. But it is definitely great to have the larger scale too, the 100,000 follower influencers come in.
And then Kate, can you explain so what do we give them in return? Like when we get the influencer to come in?
Yeah, so we do give them a gift card from the showroom and a little goodie bag. We also had a personalized gift, so like a mug with their logo on it too. Just a nice touch, a nice thank you, since they are taking the time out of their day to come in and do that extra work for us.
All right, so next question. What was the name of that app for planned Instagram posts? It's called Planoly. Planoly, I think, Planoly.
I think there was only one L, but it doesn't matter. It's basically that.
Do you use any other planning apps?
Planoly is definitely the main one. I wonder.
That would be the best one. And then you can always do it manually too, if you do just want to open up, a Word doc, and kind of copy and paste the images there and, move things around yourself. But I have used Planoly, and it's really user friendly.
And to confirm, it is one L. I just opened up my phone. Do you prefer stories or posts? Which works better and in what ways?
Who wants to take this?
I think it depends on the goal of the post and the content. Some posts I feel like may perform better or not as great on the feed. If it is like a lower quality image, but you do want to get it out there and you think it doesn't really fit your feed aesthetic, you can always put it on your Instagram story. So you can, still reach audiences and still get some interaction with that post.
Yeah, I definitely think if you are curating your feed, to be selective about which posts will go on the feed. And then your stories, I think you can really get creative of what highlights you want to create. So that's where you can really do your behind the scenes, meet the team. Those are the ones that don't necessarily need to be like the high res images. And you can kind of have your own flair to those.
And I do feel like, wouldn't you guys agree that the Instagram stories, they get way more views a lot of times than the feed posts? So you definitely should be doing Instagram stories frequently and using the geotag, like Jackie said. And then you can also do some more fun stuff in the Instagram story. Like we were talking about the polls where it's like, which design style do you like better? And people can vote, and people love that stuff. They love to vote. They love the quiz sticker. You can do all sorts of fun stickers and GIFs and stuff. So we love the stories.
And too, if you do want to drive more traffic to a feed post, you can always share it to your story too, to kind of entice people to click on it and head over to your feed.
Yeah, I love doing that, where you can just share it directly to the story and put a new post or a click here, just to get people to click back to the page.
Yeah, you should probably do that honestly every time. With every post, you might as well just share it to your story because you get more views in the story.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's another question. Seems like hashtags don't work as well. What are some other ways to bring in new followers?
So we did kind of talk about this with the, working with influencers, getting influencers to post about your brand. We talked about the community engagement where it's like find other relevant businesses and just follow and interact with a bunch of them. I do feel like the hashtags as the first comment do work though, to get your posts like in front of more people. One pro tip that we found is like Instagram actually marks it as spam if you use the same exact hashtags in every single post you do as the first comment. So what you want to do is make sure you're changing up the hashtags on every single post. So that could be like limiting the reach of your posts.
And too, don't make them too specific because, you know, people aren't going to be following those really specific hashtags. So even just broadening them a little bit. I mean, I do see, just looking at it right now, I do see probably like a third to a half of the impressions come from the hashtags, from a lot of the Instagram posts. So I think they still are really important, but definitely try to master them and figure out which ones will work best. And again, don't be too specific, kind of keep them more broad.
All right, so we have one more question. How do you go about reposting another person's post? I understand you must get permission from the original poster.
Jackie, you want to take this one?
Sure. It's definitely always great to reach out to see if you have permission to use the post. Definitely with our clients, we have photos that we already know ahead of time who the photo credit goes to and who we should tag. But if you do see like a fun inspo post that you want to share on your page, it is definitely needed to, when you share the photo, to tag the original poster and leave a little photo credit or reshared by, and then tag them in it just to give them credit.
All right, is that all the questions?
That is all of the questions, yes.
All right, well, thank you everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. What an engaging Q&A session. That was great. And then again, we're gonna send out the presentation afterwards. We have all of your emails. So if you have any further questions, feel free to just like reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you more. So thanks everybody. Have a good rest of the day.
Thanks everyone.